Good morning, folks. It's March 24th, 2022, and so basically, I have been evaluating a product from a vendor called Mboxwave, and it is an order flow analysis tool. And so, you guys remember that usually I don't use any tools, right? None of the tools, none of the indicators. I'm a pure price action person, and I only go based on our levels, right? So these are our levels, the line drawn are our levels. So I only trade based on the pure price action, right? And contextual analysis based and the level based. So but then I know you guys are also struggling sometimes with blindly trusting the labels, right? So at the same time, it's the same issue for me also, right? On some cases, certain days are like that price just goes through the labels and we have no clue what is going inside behind the candles, right? So this order flow analysis tool will try to show you what is going on inside behind the scene, and I'm evaluating to see whether it helps us lining up our trades. So there are two ways you can use these tools. Right now I'm evaluating the tools to see how I can best use it. So there are two ways. So either you can combine with our levels, right, which are these levels, and when price comes to, let's say, this support, right, or this support, then you can see whether this product, right, it's supporting the idea, right? But so there will be a learning curve here, but you can utilize it to justify, or I would say to get a confirmation from this Mboxwave tools, all this cumulative delta, histogram, M-pace, and the gain swings, and then you can utilize as a confirmation tool to justify your entry from this support, right? That's the one way to do it. Second way is to do it is you still keep an eye on the levels, our levels, but you can use the later on confirm entry based on this tools only, and then once the tools gives you a confirmation, and then that okay, it bounced from our support, it's additional confirmation, right? And then you can enter based on the tools, right? So I'll show you both ways now, so this is the example from March 23rd, which is yesterday, of the open. So going into the day, we know that price is oversold. So if you look at this and this, you can know that it is oversold, exhausted to the downside, right? By the time it opens right here, it was exhausted, right? Considering last few days of buying, this is definitely an exhaustion going on, right? So you do not want to short right of the open. That was the idea, right here. So now if I expand these things, you know the story. So it is exhausted, right? And then price opened right here, and then it went down, right? When it went down, you can see this a huge spike in the volume around 946. I view this as an exhaustion, final exhaustion, So offers one way, on other side it looks like okay, selling just began, So there are a lot of offers coming in, so there's a lot of volume here, sell volume, and you can see this in histogram. It's being called as a supply. So all the sell supply, which is a red color, and blue is the demand, right? So here the supply was increasing, right? So if you look at from the overnight, and it makes sense because selling was going on, so you can see this supply slowly was increasing to the downside, right? And of the open, after a few minutes, you can see it here, it is the max for the entire overnight, and this one also spiked up higher, so its volume is way high, right? So it could be a inflection point, or I would say exhaustion points, right? Considering entire overnight selling, and it is happening option 1 right into our levels, okay? So this way it comes. So if you go with the option 1 level with this tool, this will show you the exhaustion. You can go long right here, Now let's say if you want to go with the option 2, which is a confirmation based only of the tools and levels combined, but you use the tool, this Mboxwave, to go long later on. Okay, so now before I go into that option yet, you can see it here, it exhausted into support, right? But still it's an early thing because it could be the beginning of the furthermore down move too, right? So you wait for additional confirmation. If you see this cumulative volume, it is also exhausted to the downside, you know. Then you wait, and then you see this here. There is a what is it called, spring. It's a buy signal. It usually happens when downside is exhausted, right? So it's an indication that there is a spring signals here. That means price is exhausted. So that's another confirmation from this tool, right? Now if you look at delta, which is this minus 17, it's a delta volume, and this is a original volume, regular volume 3538. So it's delta. If you say it is less than what it was here of the open. See, it was minus 25, then it went even down 10, and then it's 17, right? So it's basically, it's here it decreased, and between this and this it is less, right? So, and more volume compared to this, right? Then it should have gone down. But if you look at this here, see, there was no supply. Right here, there was no supply, right? So that is a sign that it is indeed exhausted into this support. And then you can see there is a huge demand, which is called demand, buy side came in. If you see here, it is increasing now, see? So that is an indication that somebody bought it here, you know. So, and then it went higher into this broken support into resistance idea, right? Now if you look at here, delta was 7 plus 7, here is 21, more volume also, right? So this up move has some leg into it. That is what it's a legit buying going on, you know. And if you by the time if you look at this, so this thing decreased now, right? So cumulative selling volume decreased, demand increased, right? And then when it came down again, right? So right now this was a morning high area, right? So if you look at here and it came down, second test of this level, right? This is a 1 minute chart. If it is 5 minutes, you will only see 2 tests. Since it's a 1 minute chart, you can see multiple tests, right? But it's a balance going on, right? So here we got the first signal that hey, buying is going on. When it came down second time here, right? You can see there is a decrease in volume, 3538 to 914. Decrease in delta also, delta volume minus 17 to minus 10, right? So if sellers were really strong, this value should have been more, right? So here it is buying opportunity, you know. And then if you look at underneath the hood, this supply is decreased. See, here it was more, here it's less at the second test. That's a good confirmation, right? And so, and it's happening into the upper levels, right? And if you look at it here, there is no selling. See, there is no selling here. It's actually drastic down, right? And if you look at here, delta, this cumulative delta is nothing here, right? So that's another buy signal here, right? So this is still option 1, okay, based on the levels and combining with this damn thing, you know, volume increasing and all these tools, Mboxwave. So there are, these are called confluence point, volume increasing, cumulative selling decreasing, you know, demand increasing like this, second test. So, and there is another option is effort no result scenario, right? So here sellers did a good effort, you know, like this, but immediately no result, right? There is no follow through to the downside. So it's called effort no result scenario also, right? So there are multiple confluence point by this by Mboxwave, all set of tools showing you that hey, buying is going on, actually really sellers are done, you know. Then finally now we are going into option 2. So these were the 2 initial buys based on our levels, right? And then when price broke out about this area, you can see there is a more volume coming in, you know, more demand coming in, and this cumulative delta, it went negative to positive like this. And here also you can see this, right? So these are the confirmation now. Now you have a breakout above this balance, intraday balance breakout and morning high breakout at this point with increased volume 2984, 2540, right? So now it's a more confirmation, demand is increasing, supply is pretty much gone. You know, there is a buying coming in. You can see it, there is a volume to the upside like this. If you draw an arrow, you can see it is increasing, right? Now when it pull back here, right, that is called pullback at the balance stop after the breakout into our level, broken resistance, turn back into support. This is your first entry into support after looking at all this confluence point, again based on option 1, based on our level, and combining with this you can go long here. And now let's say if you want to use option 2 based on only this Mboxwave tool, then now considering all this thing, when this is a pullback signal, it's called Stooges, it's called a pullback signal, this hash shine, right? And when it is under the bracket, it's called hash shine in trending environment, right? So it's like a trending bullish pullback, you know, and you can see there is a double algo. So pullback in the trend and hash in the trend, it's called double algo, right? So it's algorithm inside this tool is Mboxwave tool is also giving you the buy signal here, right? So when it happens, it confirms only after 2 bar highs. If price makes a higher high of 2 candles, the signal is confirmed. So at this bar, you know, it is above this 2 candles high. So now the signal is confirmed, right? And now you know already the story from our levels and all this thing, right? Combining all these confluence points, almost 7 or 8 confluence point, right? And also another thing, there was a pullback here of the open. See that pullback signal, pullback selling algo that took this move down, right? On the way up, the high of this pullback algo was taken out after the balance breakout. So I would say it's a failed sell algo here, you know, which is this another confluence point. So now you can enter right at this breakout candle, target the higher areas. This is the option 2 based on this tool, you know, Mboxwave. Considering all this point, buying is going on, you know. So now once you enter it here, here, right? If you enter here and here or here, right? This is all confluence points suggesting that hey, you can hold and add more entries, more positions, long position into this trade, you know. Or you can wait for all this confirmation and go long purely based on Mboxwave, right, which is here, and then you target higher up areas. So higher up areas, how far it can go, either you can use this tool to give you the exit, or you can build out at our resistance, which is this area, because at that time you can see there are a couple of sell algos defending this resistance area, right? And you can see there is a consolidation, this broken support, right, can act as a resistance here. See that, which is right here. So that's the first exit, right? Now if you look at it, hold on, so let me now combine with our notes, right, on that day. You can see it right here. See this first long in our video, end of day video. See these things right here. See how it's confluencing? This is a breakout long. See these things, breakout long right here. And there was a pullback, right? So this pullback long, this is 1 minute chart, this is 5 minutes. So 5 minutes you can't see this trade. But later on, here you can see it, this one. This long into the support, right? And if you look at this downside, there is not enough supply going on actually. You know, and even though when price touched here, you can see there is a minor divergence here. See, it's decreasing actually, it's not increasing, right? Compared to this much buying, look at this, and if you combine this from here, it is still decreasing, right? So that was the long right into this here, this long, you know, right here. See how it is confluencing? So, and then there was also another thing, that there is a UT signal, it's algo signal, right? So it's called upthrust signal, and it is supporting the selling basically, you know. It basically shows up when price is overbought. So this is a overbought condition here, you know. So it is happening right at our levels, resistance, right? So two signals, actually two algo signals, this and this, right? And in the overbought condition, you can see this is overbought condition, right? And then what happen is, usually how you trade this, I still have to evaluate this, how to trade these things, but the way I say it happening into our resistance, right? And then you can see the delta 27.7, it's decreasing, right? Despite this volume, price is not able to go higher, and we have two sell algo signals, which is UT, in an overbought condition, right? And then you can see it here, delta is decreasing, and right at this time UT appeared, right? You can see this demand immediately went down, so decreased demand right here, even though price is higher, trying to break out these things, but there is no demand, and this is decreased, right? So the moment UT appears and if price goes down, pull back to this level, you can short right here, reactionary short, back to maybe this low or this low. That's it, so scalping kind of trade. Then there was another trade, based on our stuff. So let me pull it out. Where is it? Damn thing, where is it? Here. So remember these shorts here on that day in my chart, end of day video. This short is, look at, say, UT overbought, see? So here I'm not gonna discuss all these things, but at least you can see there is a UT signal, right? Upthrust and selling algo, two algos, and there is a VWAP here, and that was our sell signal. See that how it's matching up? And less volume, 23, 13, 14, 11. See that? And it's also close to our resistance. Then there was second signal here, see, and that day I explained 74 price, this 74 area, price tried it 2 times to hold it. Now it's a break below here, which is this. Most likely sellers will be in control. There was a short here on that day, right, which is this short. See, again sell signal into our levels. See how it's matching up, and you can see the demand, supply is totally to the downside. See here, supply. So that's how you can use it. Either you can combine with our levels, right, or you can use it on its own. But on its own, usually you will get a late entries, but they are confirm entries actually. So, and you go with the flow based on the confirm entries, and or you can use the option 1, which is combining everything, levels and this, and then you can execute it. Okay, and that be all.